Bismillah, alhamdulillah, salatu salam, rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My name is Tariq Khalid. I'd like to welcome to our program here at Sharjah Media Corporation on getting to know Allah, getting to know your Lord and its essence and importance. And the question I want to ask you, do you know your Lord? Or are you confused? Or are you in a state of confusion? And we find that many people in today's world, unfortunately, are confused about that. Who is their Lord? What is his requirements? Why did he create us? And so forth and so on. So today we want to talk about some of Allah's requirements. What is it that Allah is requiring from us? What is it that Allah expects us to do? And what do we get for that? Is there a reward for it? Is there benefit from it? So let's see what Allah says in one very short chapter of the Quran. This is surah number 103, Al-Asr. And Allah says more or less, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Well, Asr, this means by the time. Allah is swearing by the time. Verily man is at loss except those who believe in Islamic monotheism and do righteous good deeds and recommend one another to the truth, which means all perfect good deeds, right? And which Allah has obtained and abstain from all kinds of sins and evil deeds. To abstain from sins and evil deeds. And these are the things, of course, which Allah has forbidden. And recommend one another to patience, meaning enduring patience under all circumstances, whether it's injuries, harm, or trials and tribulations which people say in their daily lives. Maybe you're without a job, maybe you're sick, maybe somebody in your family is sick. As an example, the common things that we endure daily. Inspire one another in Allah's cause, doing preaching at the religion of Deen. So, if we break this down, in some of the ulama, the scholars say that if Allah had revealed just this one chapter, very short, 3 verses only, that this would be enough for people if they understood it and they implemented it in their life. So Allah is saying first of all of mankind is at loss. He said every person who is created is at loss, except those who believe in the oneness of Allah and do righteous good deeds. Except those who believe in the oneness of Allah and do righteous good deeds. Think about that. Righteous good deeds. Today, for example, and we want to use this as a heading also, because we found that people no longer take it seriously. Not everyone, but I'll ask you the question to ask yourself and ask your friends and your family. When was the last time you heard someone talk about morality or morals? Is it in people's vocabulary today? Do people talk about good morals? Or do we find that more people are confused about what is considered, generally speaking, in whatever society that you live in, good moral behavior? And what actually does a person do to be recognized as such? As we find today, many things, of course, have changed. For example, this particular medium that we're using now, we find people use very filthy language internationally in many different languages, whereas historically this was forbidden and frowned upon. But today it's common as an example. So let's just take that one thing. And the Prophet ﷺ made a statement that's very powerful, but very simple. Speak good or be silent. Think about that. Speak good or be silent. So if we look at the deluge, for lack of a description, of filthy language. And then, of course, along with the filthy language, we have actions which equal, or in many instances surpass, the language that are being promoted today on these instruments that you're looking at right now. Ask yourself this question. Is that something that I like? Is it something I want for my children? Is it something I want for my brothers and sisters or my brothers and sisters' children? Is it something that I want in my society? Do I think it's okay? Well, freedom of speech, you can say as you want. Freedom of action, you can do if you want. If you want to come on TV nude, you can come on TV nude and say whatever it is that you want to say, as an example. But we're saying no. Remember what I said. Remember what Allah says here. Verily, man is at loss, except those who believe in the oneness of Allah. And do the other side that connects this, very important, believe in the oneness of Allah and do righteous deeds and recommend one another to the truth. Do righteous deeds, recommend one another to the truth. So let's look at righteous deeds. What are righteous deeds? First, obeying the commandments of Allah, worshiping Allah in the way that He said, this is the way I want you to worship me. Not that way, not this way. This is the way that I have prescribed for you to worship me. And what is that? What is this? According to the way, the sunnah of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Regardless who we are, regardless of what we're saying that we're doing, that if we want to correct ourselves, we want to follow this path. Now some people say, well, all paths or many paths that lead to God. Well, we debate with that because that's not what God says. God commands us to obey Him and to follow His prophet. Meaning, the way to obey Him is to follow His prophet. And that means for every single human being who gets this message that if you want the truth, this is the truth. Obey the commandments of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And ultimately, you will be the successor. Disobey the commandments of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and you will be among those people who will be distressed in the grave. We're not even talking about the day of judgment. In the grave. So if we look at that, there are billions or trillions, we don't know, of how many people in the grave today who are suffering because of their actions on this earth. So beware. And this message is the message that we're carrying, saying beware. Take account of yourself. Look at your life now. Are you living a moral existence, or is this a word that is not in your vocabulary? Meaning it's something that you have learned, but you don't use it. You don't implement it in your life. You don't see the reality of that because you have been what? Deluded from that reality. And the environment that you're living in is polluted maybe, and your direction has changed. And we talk to many people who says, listen, you know, I used to be like this, but now I find myself very weak. And I find myself succumbing to my desires and following the path of the people who are just slaves of their desires. So if you find yourself like this, stop. We say three things. Stop, look, and listen. Full stop, freeze. Pay attention to what? What it is that you're doing. Number three, listen to good advice. Don't be in denial. Accept the fact that, wow, I'm in trouble right here. I need to do something about this. Full stop. Okay, who can help me? Who has the answers that I need to hear? Where are those answers? And where can I listen to them and learn them and implement them? Who is this for? Whose benefit is it? It's my individual benefit. It's for the salvation of my own soul. People say, well, brother, I have my own belief. And it says, you have your own belief? You mean something that you made up yourself? Oh, fine. If you made up your belief yourself or someone else made it up, then where is it going to take you? Where is that person? Where is his power to take you to the next step? And the next step, when we say truth, invite the people to truth, the truth ultimately is that every soul, Allah says more or less, every soul shall have a taste of death. That's the ultimate truth. Nobody lives forever. Everyone's going to die. Now, what are you faced with? If you say, I don't know, What I think, well, you were just the person who said you were in control of your life. You were doing whatever it is that you wanted to do, that no one can tell you what to do. You were the person who was on that page. Now, when we ask you about what happens to you when you leave this world, now you become dodgy. Because you know, just as well as I do, you have no control over that. You cannot control when you die. No, you cannot. You cannot control your condition in the grave unless you go back to what we're saying, enjoining righteous conduct while you're on this earth, enjoining the good, forbidding the evil, obeying the commandments of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, implementing these principles in your life on a daily basis, teaching them to your family, communicating to others, to those who would listen, that your salvation is in this. If we understand that, then we understand the reality of this life related to the hereafter. People who do not or just engage for a short time. Sure, right now it might seem like a long time because we don't have a lot of people on this earth who are 100 years old. But I guarantee you, if you talk to someone who's 100 years old, he'll tell you the same thing. He said, you know, after I got such and such an age, the time just went very quick. In these last few years, it's going very quickly. And I know the reality of this world is that my time is going to be up. Regardless of how old I am, one day it's going to be over. And it's not in my control. It is beyond my control. So take the time out now while you can, while you're listening. And we encourage others to do good deeds and recommend each other to patience. Doing good deeds and being patient when faced with adversity. Now, some people say, well, you know, I'm a good guy, but I'm around these bad people. You know, and these people at the workplace, these people in my school, the people in my neighborhood, as an example, they're not good people. And unfortunately, I don't have much choice. I have to be around those people. When we say we don't have much choice, what does that mean? What does that mean? That means that we've made a choice, doesn't it? I mean, we've made a choice to be with those people. We say, oh, I know they're not good, but, you know, I need a job. So I got a job working with these people. I know they're not good, but this school is close to my house. I know they're not good people, but I can't afford to live in another neighborhood. So I live in this neighborhood with these horrible people. And the bottom line will ask you, again, Allah says to endure and be patient. But we have to be patient in relationship to what? To the help of Allah. And to be patient in relationship to the help of Allah, we have to be making effort to obtain the help of Allah. We ask to be a reality for us. We have to have that reality that I need the help of Allah. Whatever my condition is, I need to turn to Allah. I need to keep turning. If my condition worsens, I need to turn to Him more, not less. I keep begging Allah to improve my condition in this world so that I can be among those people who are obeying Him openly. So if we look at our lives today and we look at the commonality of what's being promoted globally in terms of immorality, we need to understand what morality is. And we need to come back full circle to the middle somewhere, to the middle path. If we look at the kinds of things which are going on today globally, which not very long ago in many instances or many locations did not exist. But today it's flagrant. Why is that? Somebody says, well, why is that, brother? Is it because of the media? Or is it because the people, their faith has become weak? Is it because the people are away from obeying the commandments of Allah? Is it because of the punishment of Allah? What is it? We have to look at our own souls. All throughout history, there have been temptations. Man has been tempted in different form and fashion in different societies. And as you well know, Allah destroyed many societies because of their disobedience to Him. And in many instances, they continued and became very extreme in their behavior, and Allah destroyed them. So if we look at our condition today, where do we stand? How much are we concerned about? How much are we making effort to obey the commandments of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? How much effort are we making to learn, to understand, to implement, to research the commandments of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala so that we can be under what? The shade of Allah's arsh on the day of judgment, when there'll be no sun, when there'll be no other place. The sun will be low in the heavens, and there'll be no other place for shade. Think about it. People say, oh, well, brother, that's a story. Okay, fine. If you think it's a story and you think that you can go on with your life as it is, being disobedient to Allah, and saying, well, I don't have to be accountable. I'm not a Muslim. That's satisfying you right now. I'm not a Muslim. I have my own religion. I'm doing my thing. In my religion, it doesn't require me to do this. He says, well, the thing is fine if your religion says that, but is your religion superior to Allah? Allah has given you the freedom to think like this, to speak, and to make effort in this fashion. But is that the truth that we're calling people to? Is that the ultimate truth? Or is that false? Ask yourself that question realistically, not in the way that it satisfies your desires. Look at it realistically. The path that am I following? Is that the path of truth and righteousness? Is that the path that's going to lead me to paradise? Or am I deluded? Have I been faked out, fooled by Satan and led astray? At the same time thinking everything is good. My life is fantastic. And your life may be fantastic. It may be. But it is temporary. And from this state where we're temporary, we're going to permanency. Think about it. Please think about it. Pray on it. Ask Allah for guidance before it's too late. My name is Tariq Khalid. I'd like to thank you for joining us here at Sharjah Media Corporation. On getting to know your Lord, getting to know Allah, is essential for every single human being to get to know his Lord before he leaves this world. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.